Well, this garden is getting a little bit of too much shade from our bamboos, but I haven't given up on it. So we have been building, this actually was a garden, then there was a gravel area, that used to be a garden over there, we've made that into a gravel area, and now we have been trying to grow things over here. So in this area, we have some, what's that called again, darling?
Turmeric.
Turmeric. We have parsley, two kinds of parsley, and I've put basil in over here. Now I'm actually using the no-dig system. I've weeded, pulled out as much of the weeds as I can, and then I've laid down compost, about 5 inches of compost. Then I seeded in the basil, and in here I have carrots, collards. There I have a lettuce that may grow in the summer sun, in summer shade. And so there's been about 4 or 5 inches, about 5 to 6 inches of compost. And then I put about a half an inch of top dressing above it. And in the middle, in these walkways, I've gotten wood shavings. And there's about 6-7 inches of wood shavings that will just compact with time and will break down, and as it breaks down it will become compost, and I'll keep adding wood shavings to keep my walkways, to try and keep it weed free. And I will also put a little bit of wood shavings on the top of all of this now to act as a mulch, but not that much, because we don't want the wood shavings to be pulling nitrogen from the soil and robbing the plants potentially of that. But the compost is rich, it's got a lot of worms in it. Some of the compost has been about 8-9 months since I stopped turning it, and it's been sitting. Some of the other compost has been 2 years. So we've got a really nice thick layer of food to try these 3 rows that I'm going to grow in. And we'll see how that goes. And then next year, the plan, if everything works, would be then just to weed out what we don't want after the harvest, and then put in a little bit more of our seeds or seedlings, depending on what's available. We'll see how that grows, and then just before the winter, when things get a little bit cooler, because here in the Caribbean we have an all year growing, so it's hot or slightly cooler. So we will try and figure out what will go in, and maybe we'll do spinach and some more lettuce, arugula, that will just seed on top, a little of top dressing, a little bit more of the top dressing being compost, a little bit of wood shavings, because I have an unlimited supply of wood shavings. And keep our fingers crossed that we'll be eating out of this little patch. We'll let you know. We do have some chives growing over here. We have some ornamental garlic flower that I've used as a border that we can also eat. And we have some sweet potatoes, local Dominican sweet potatoes, that we are also experimenting with. No, the French sweet potatoes, unfortunately, they did not make it. So these are either American sweet potato or Dominican sweet potato, I can't quite remember. And there is some thyme, and there is fennel also in this garden. And yes, I have a big bamboo, a Indonesian Java black bamboo, which is helping to regulate some of the moisture so that this garden doesn't become too excessive. It does offer us some shade, which we really need for our barbecue area more than for the garden, but everything is a compromise. Hopefully, we're making some good compromises here.